We are live on the Book of Faces.
I knew this was going to happen.
What?
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Look.
Did you know that the average yearly repair bill for a car 5 years or older is more than $1,200? Having repair coverage for your car just makes sense, but the trick is not to overpay for it. With Toco Warranty, you can get a highly rated vehicle protection plan, usually for less than a tank of gas
Interesting.
per month. And now, we're offering a zero down payment program. To get a great car vehicle protection plan at a super low
I wonder
price,
what
call
that
Toco
means
Warranty
exactly.
At 1-800-269-3100.
Careful, we're on Facebook.
That's 1-800.
Oh, we're already live,
Yeah,
huh?
we're already live, yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you what it is. Quit screwing around.
Yeah.
Represent the views or opinions
Oh,
of the
show's
staff,
getting started.
management, or ownership of this
Oh,
station.
turn everything on mute.
It's time to get on the right path with Right Path Real Estate Radio.
Dude,
with
I am
Tom Perry and Jason Biber.
About to go off. I'm going to do a
The answer
Facebook
to your
Live on it.
question that's keeping you from taking action and succeeding today.
Ooh, this is an interesting text message I just got. I really like this guy. He is the man. I think you've met him before.
Get ready. The guys that will put your fears behind you are on the air now. They're taking calls at 713-785-1817. Toll free 877-881-0277.
You wanna pull up Facebook up
Oh,
there?
yeah.
Here's Tom and Jason.
All right, guys, hot mics.
Yeah, hot mics. Welcome to the show. Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. 713-785-1817. We can be a call-in show, or if you don't want to call in, Jason and I can fill up the whole hour.
I got an interesting call on Monday.
What's
that?
that?
I think would be a great starting off point. And I don't say it enough.
Yeah.
And that is, I think you should pay rental properties off. I don't think you have to sell them to recapture the, quote, debt equity. I don't know whoever made that term up, but I've heard it before.
Well, I think it depends on the environment that you are in financing, because there are times, I believe, that based on financing restrictions, that if you want to maximize your returns, because you and I both run the numbers before. If you have rental properties that are completely paid off, like I met an Asian guy that owns about 80 rental properties completely paid for, and what I realized is that he could probably own 350 or 400 rental properties that were not paid for, that were leveraged at like 70% or 75%, something like that, and his cash-on-cash return would go way, way up. However, if the market ever takes a downturn, things like that, then you've got other issues. So, and he basically says, hey, look, I really sleep well at night, having 80 paid-for houses, which I'm sure he does, and I'm sure he would sleep okay if he had, 350 or 400 that were leveraged. And he said, but, if the market ever takes a dip, I can just lower my rents. I'll never have vacancies.
That's right.
and I'll never have negative cash flows and all of that, so I see both sides of it. And really what it comes down to is how much capacity do you have for borrowing versus not, right? And would you be better off owning 5 paid-for houses, or you can typically do 5 times that. It's an 80-20, right? So you can do 5 times, 25 properties.
Here's the question I ask. Why do you need that equity? Oh, I need the equity to buy more houses. Oh, so you're not buying them deep enough to be able to get 100% financing. That's the problem. And liquidating or leveraging assets because you're not buying them cheap enough is not the solution, right?
Right.
Now, if you're just...
Well, except for the fact that sometimes you get into leveraging situations that even if you are buying them cheap enough, that you still, because you've outgrown, all the rules and things like that, it gets harder and harder to have 100% financing because they want you to have quote-unquote skin in the game, right?
I would agree with that when you start getting into the 30, 40, 50 rental properties. If you can't get an advance rate on a portfolio loan at 100%.
Right.
But most of the people listening to the radio show don't have that problem. They
Absolutely.
can't get to 20 houses. Right? So it's like, when you get to 100, sure, you got to make some adjustments, right?
Right.
If your advance rate's 5%, so you're putting 5% down on 100 properties, that's a whole different scenario. But that's a function I can see of financing, to your first point. But 99% of the folks who listen to this radio show are like, well, I got 10, I want to get 20, so I need to sell or leverage up those 10 to get the other 10. And I'm like, you don't have to do that. you can get 100% financing for those.
In this market right now, you can't.
Correct,
Right.
correct.
Because, but that's changed in the last, wouldn't you say, 6 months or maybe 7 months? Because I don't think that
So-
existed 2 years ago.
I can tell you just the 80% products like Noble has. So Noble Mortgage has a 80% ARV deal.
Yeah.
So if you're into the property, let's say the property's worth $100,000, you can borrow up to 80 grand. That's a big deal for landlords.
Yeah.
Used to be up to 75%, and in a lot of cases, it would go up to 70 after property
Right.
number 6.
Right.
So that's something that's changed in the last 4 or 5 months. But for it's kind of like it was a lot of the discussions I had last night, where I met with a lot of people, a lot of realtors here last night, and I said, "Hey, well, why'd you decide to become a realtor?" I'm
Yeah.
always asking
Yeah,
these
of course.
questions, right? So I'm the question guy. That's why nobody comes
Mr.
by my
Inquisitive.
booth. Yeah. Actually, I was kind of dressed like a bum yesterday, and they're like, "Is this your booth?" I was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, it's my booth. What's up?" I'm here to sign. They were signing little cards,
Right, yeah.
So I'm like, "I've got to sign the vendor card," and I'm like, "What do you do?" "Well, I'm a realtor." "Well, why'd you decide to become a realtor?"
Yeah, and they're always dressed to the nines because they're
Oh,
faking
yeah.
it until they make it, right?
That's
You know,
right. Yeah. Everybody's all done up. So,
Mm-hmm.
so anyways, I'm sitting there and why do you want to become a realtor? Well, I don't like my other job. I want to start a new career. I'm like, well, that didn't really tell me anything.
Yeah, right.
Where are you trying to get to? Oh, I'd like to buy rental properties. I'm like, so why don't you buy rental properties? Oh, well, I thought I had to become, this is a new one
Yeah.
on our matrix, on our schizophrenic investor
right,
matrix.
right.
I thought I had to become a real estate investor so I could then do wholesaling, so then I could do flip properties.
No, and you said
then
a
I
real
could do-
estate. You
a real estate agent,
Right,
sorry.
yeah. Mhm.
So actually, they said, a couple of people told me just like this. I want to learn how to be a real estate investor, so I have to first learn how to be a real estate agent.
Yeah, which is like saying I want to become a plumber, so I first have to become an electrician.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, those are not related. Yeah. They're-
Or I want to be an
they're-
architect first, therefore I have to learn how to be a plumber. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what does that have to do with anything?
or a framer, right? I
Yeah.
have to be
I have to be a framer.
or an engineer first to become an architect. There's like no, they're yeah. I see they're kind of similar, but engineers don't do what architects do, and
Yeah.
architects don't do what engineers do.
But when I finally start breaking down, and of course, inevitably, it's just like one person I'm having a conversation with, and then there's like this semicircle around our table, and everyone's listening because everyone has those same assumptions, right?
Now they don't care how you're dressed.
Yeah, now they don't care. They're like, oh, this makes sense
Oh
now.
wait, there's wisdom coming here.
That's right.
This is the wisdom booth. I get it.
And then they'll say, who are you again? What's the name of your company?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see your billboards all over town. So, okay, let's start with the end in mind.
Right.
You want to buy 20 rental properties. Let's just go buy 20 rental properties.
Yeah, so it's not that there's a prerequisite that step 9 has to be preceded by the previous 8 steps. That's,
Right.
That there's no prerequisite to becoming a real estate investor.
No, there's not.
I mean now there is a test involved. In
You
fact,
do have to pass the test to
You
be
do
a real
have to
estate
pass
agent.
the test, or actually, you have to pass the test to be a real estate investor, right? And it's the life test, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but there's not a prerequisite. It's not like when you do undergrad that, in order to take biology 301, that you have to have biology 101 and biology 201. There's not that prerequisite before you sign up. You don't have to become a real estate agent first and then to become a real estate investor. But
So a couple of other questions I fielded last night that were just really interesting. I had somebody come up to me, and we talk at every single event she's at. She said, hey, you guys buying flood houses? I'm like, we buy anything. We buy houses all over the place. I don't care. We buy them, right? So she says to me, I was talking to this other guy. And I was like, okay. And he tells me completely opposite of what I just told her.
Sure.
And I could mention the guy. I won't mention the guy's name on here.
We
but
know
We know him.
yeah, we know him.
The guy lives just above broke, but he tells everybody he's this big real estate investor. Anyways, so I said, look, let's call this guy Bob. I said, look, you go back to Bob and ask Bob how many houses he bought since Harvey hit.
Yeah.
Ask Bob that question. And she starts smiling. And I said, and I got real close to her and I said, you and I both know Bob ain't buying any houses.
Yeah.
So what does Bob's opinion really matter? She laughs and she goes, about none. I said, yeah. So I said, here's my opinion from
My question is, why are you listening to Bob's opinion?
that's the other thing I told her. I'm like, why do you listen to that
And
guy?
so when you're engaged in a conversation with Bob, is he volunteering his opinion that you didn't ask for, or are you actually asking? Because That's
Well, so as you are aware, we put on an event, and then the rest of the city puts on their events,
course,
right?
yeah.
So this is one of those how to buy Harvey houses things,
yeah.
how to market for Harvey
how
houses,
to talk to sellers after
how
Harvey.
to talk to
Where have I heard of that before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How to, guys, I'll go ahead and take all of you who keep taking our stuff. I'll just tell you right now, the next series we're going to do is how to manage a rehab, a Harvey on a Harvey impacted property.
Yeah.
So,
How Harvey affects your numbers.
That's right. So
Yeah.
go ahead and put that on your books. You might be able to get the jump on us this time, but just because we're telling you what we're going to do. So in any case, that's
so wrong.
It is. It's wrong, but it's true. It's like if you're going to steal our ideas, it's fine.
We
I'm
can't
gonna go-
steal them. We're going to give them to you, right?
Yeah, and I'll go ahead and tell you, we are going to do a series in January on how to lose money in real estate.
Yeah.
Because we started that last January,
Yeah.
so we're going to do it this January too.
Sure.
Go ahead and put that on your calendars.
Yeah,
and
that'll be
pitch
your
it.
February event.
So
If you want to see our January calendar, you can see everybody else's February calendar.
actually, you can go to Right Path Real Estate and go ahead and plan your real estate club right behind ours.
The
That's
trouble
fine.
is that we don't show all of our events on the calendar.
That's
it's only
true.
the next impending event. So, yeah. If they could see our view of the calendar, then they could go ahead and plan theirs.
That's true. So, anyways,
That's so wrong.
this guy, it's wrong, but it's true.
It is.
People are paying attention. Like the folks that are clued in see it. They're like, hey,
They're like, oh, that's a good idea. Well, I wonder where they got that idea. 2 minutes, I heard it.
yeah. Well, my favorite is when I get text messages from some weekend event or some seminar, and I get text messages like, hey, Jason, I think they stole the last 3 slides of your marketing presentation. I'm like, yeah, I figured it's been going on for a year now. Anyway, so so to go back to this, hey, go when you sit down with a guru, somebody gives you advice, and I don't do this to be rude, but I've gotten to the point now where somebody says, Jason, you ought to do X, Y, and Z, and I'll say, well, have you done that? And if they say yes, I go, great. How many times have you done it? Well, I do it once or twice a year. Okay, I'm impressed when someone says, yeah, do this. By the way, we buy 5 houses a month doing this one thing. And I'm like, okay, you got my attention. But if you can't scale it, and if it's like some good idea you heard on some random blog somewhere, I was teasing a couple guys last night. They came up. They're like, oh, you teach they were very like, you teach real estate education. I'm like, yeah. And I said, you're the guy that's going to tell me you're learning all this stuff on Bigger Pockets. And they all laughed. And I said, good luck. Signed their card. They walked off.
Yeah.
Good luck with the blogs, bro. Good luck with the blogs.
Hey, you're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. When we get back from the break, I want to discuss with you same topic that one of the questions that came up to me on the Pathfinder call on Tuesday last night was when we about making unsolicited offers on MLS and the MLS offer program.
Okay.
Just, sending blind offers at some percentage.
Yeah.
And some guys buying like 7 houses a month.
Yeah.
Doing that.
No.
Yeah, it's not
They're
us.
not.
Yeah, exactly. So you're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio. We're going to a break.
Mike's off.
Thanks. Any questions?
No questions. Yeah. It's quiet. Although it says JB Funding Foundation Check and
You know that
Benchmarker
there
here.
are over $24
Nice.
trillion in retirement accounts in the U.S. Imagine if you could use someone's IRA.
Good morning,
to
Michael.
fund
Good morning,
all of your
Daniel.
deals. Well, you can. Quest IRA is based locally here in Houston, Texas. At Quest IRA, we offer
Good morning,
retirement
Ginger.
accounts that can be used to invest in real estate, promissory notes, private entities, and much more.
So I told the
Many of our
patent folks, I'm like,
clients
hey, I'm not going to be able to make the
their
Halloween
IRAs
get together.
Yeah, right.
But I said, I can probably make the Christmas one. And so they went ahead and gave me the date, and I put it on the calendar.
Okay.
So
cool.
Yeah,
because we have the weekend retreat that-
it's like, yeah, the bowling thing's Wednesday, and then weekend retreats Friday. And I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, I got to tell you, that's going to be a tough one for me to make.
Well, and Wednesdays are tough for me because that's the only
to tap into the
It's the only date that we don't have an event, 'cause we're pretty much
call Quest IRA
Tuesday,
at
Thursday getting kinda
1-855-FUN
slammed.
IRAs, or go to our website questira.com.
Do you have cracks in your brick, doors that stick, or sheetrock that's coming apart? Then you may have foundation movement. Due to our expansive soils in the Houston area, it's probably not a question of if you have movement, but when. Call Foundation Check for a truly independent, unbiased foundation evaluation. Foundation Check has been in business since 2009 and has completed over 1,400
Who is this
evaluations.
dude?
We're not in the business of repairing foundations or selling you unnecessary peer work, but we are in the business of evaluating your foundation. Our product is designed for house flippers.
Hey, Jay,
landlords,
turn your mic down
or
a little.
even owner-occupied
Okay.
properties.
Oh yeah,
Each of our
it's like
files
full
is
blast over
reviewed
there,
by
isn't
a
it?
How about that?
licensed engineer.
I wondered why I
Remember to
couldn't
check
hear the
before every
Oh, yeah.
repair.
the intro or the outro music. I'm like, when you said, "Hey, it's time to go on break," I'm like, "Are you
3825.
sure?" And then I heard the music. It was like, "Oh, it's because my mic's blasted."
Oh, no, he said that before I started playing the music.
Yeah.
Oh,
When
okay.
he said that, that's when I started.
Yeah.
So I'm not going crazy.
No, no,
He
no.
just wanted to go on a break.
No, she had said 2 minutes, and my internal clock was. It was time, wasn't it?
You just have to know where to look.
You were good,
Look
yes.
no
Yeah.
further
Okay.
than
Yeah, I've got.
Noble
No,
Mortgage.
I've seriously.
Noble
I've
Mortgage
developed
is a
this.
full-service
It's your
mortgage
radio
company.
circadian rhythm.
Noble
I've been
Mortgage
nailing it
offers
though,
up to
haven't I,
100%
Nikki?
Financing to
You've been doing
investors
good,
that
Mr.
covers
Perry.
principal,
Oh, there you go.
repairs, and closing costs. In addition to private money, Noble
I'm not.
Mortgage
I
offers
actually made a
conventional
comment
loans,
yesterday. I'm
FHA,
not saying that I have that
no
same
income
sense that
documentation
a
loans for
quarterback
both
has in the
residential
pocket. You know that
and commercial
timing that's going off. That
properties.
gotta get rid of it. It's like,
That whole like, there's a very big man coming up very fast
yeah,
behind me.
but I I get this sense. So what's he saying?
Or
Oh.
visit noblemoney.com. That's noblemoney.com.
Is he part of our group?
No.
Our team has over
Yeah.
50 years experience in the mortgage industry. Call us today, 713-680-8100, or visit us on the web, noblemoney.com, noblemoney.com.
NMLS 292143, 8203 Willow Place Drive, Houston, Texas, 77070.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly
All right, 1
general
minute.
contractor
Oh, that's
for your
cool.
investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties. Whether it's a flip rehab or a rental rehab, we manage every aspect of a rehab from start to finish with a highly efficient, standardized process.
Over the last 6 years, Fast Track has completed over 700 projects, which has helped us to create our 3 keys to success. Use a detailed scope of work so that everything gets
That's
done.
interesting.
Train and maintain quality crews so it gets done right, and complete the work in a proper order so it gets done fast.
No more managing it yourself, no more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992. Again, that's 832-742-9992, or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Thanks, Maria.
This is Business.
Howdy, Glenda.
10.
Call Jason or Tom at 713-785-1817 or look for us on Facebook Live at
All right, fellas.
facebook.com/Right
3,
Path
2,
Real Estate.
1, hot mic.
Hey, welcome back. Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. You can follow us there. Give us a call, ask a question, or you can go to Facebook. Go to facebook.com. I call it the Book of Faces. I think everybody knows what I'm talking about. Facebook.com. Like our Right Path.
I know there's people that are searching Book of Faces. They're like,
But
"Oh,
you know, when
she's
they look up
Facebook."
Book of Faces, they find it, right?
I know,
if
I
you-
know, but they're like so confused.
Yeah, so confusing, right? So Facebook.com, like our Right Path Real Estate page. You'll get an alert, I think, every time that we're on the air,
Yes.
so live on the air. Or you can also text to 95577. Text the word listen to 95577. That's listen to 95577. You get a reminder right before the show goes live at 9 o'clock. And so what we were talking about is, so every now and then the same things seem to cycle and repeat. There's a real estate guru in town that teaches that they find their deals by just taking essentially every offer on there, take a percentage off, and just submitting a TREC contract. They're submitting an offer. And I said, yeah, I get those offers on deals that we list. And they're like, yeah, well, I can see that it necessarily won't work with wholesale deals. And I'm talking about these are deals that we actually own. I mean, we get those kind of deals. And I just respond back because according to TREC rules, an agent's supposed to respond back to every single offer. And I just respond back and say, if you haven't seen the property first, I don't consider it a valid offer. So go see the property if you still want to do it. And oh, by the way, we don't do option periods.
Yeah.
And so he goes, yeah, but it's different because they're doing it on a TREC contract. And I'm like, no, it doesn't change anything. It just gives me more to read when I'm looking at the terms.
So let's discuss this a little bit. So there's a real estate guru. There's more than just one of them, but there's one locally that's very famous for doing this, where they have a army of VAs, virtual assistants, people in the Philippines that make $3 an hour, sending out blind offers over MLS, which locally is called HAR.
Yeah.
So they're sending out these blind offers, essentially taking whatever the list price is, multiplying it by 70%, so taking 30% off, and then taking $20,000 off for rehab. So here's the problem with that. We'll have a brand new, say, $400,000 house in the energy corridor, and they'll take 70% of that,
which is $120,000.
$120,000.
So they start at $280, and they send in an offer for $260.
For $260, and they'll say, hey, we want a 30-day option.
They want a 10-day option, and they'll close in 30
right.
days, all cash.
And this is a beautiful, brand new, gorgeous house that will be, every time we do one of these on this side of town, it's always the next highest comp. So we get these offers on the regular, like you wouldn't believe. Now, here's the problem. The same individual teaches these real estate classes to all these other people that don't know what they're doing. And so we'll get 10, 15, 20 of these exact same offers.
I think they all come from the same VA. They've got one VA that's representing like 12 different companies. And so we get the same kind of offer from 12 different companies, and they're just wasting
everybody's time.
Right.
So I decided to give this one a try.
Yeah.
I hired some VAs.
But
for
when
the
we
summer.
do this, we don't do 10 or 15. You scale.
I scaled it real quick.
Yeah.
We did 1,000 offers a month.
Right.
And only for properties that looked like they needed work.
Right.
So guess how many we got under contract?
A big goose egg.
A big goose egg. We did it for 3 months. 3,000 offers.
For those of y'all that speak Spanish, that's nada.
Nada. That's, zero.
Because there's not a direct conversion for goose egg and nada.
No. Maybe some of our Spanish speakers can drop. I know Maria was on here.
Yeah.
Whatever goose egg is in Spanish, if you put that in the Facebook page, we'll start using it. But in any case, so it's a method that doesn't work. Blind offers don't work.
Well, then he said, the guy bought 7 houses last month, and I'm like,
no, he didn't.
I don't.
Send me the HUDs.
And he said, well, maybe he didn't do it. Maybe he got some of them from another method. And I'm like, yeah, you think?
No, I just said, hey, that sounds great. I'll tell you what, I tried it, didn't work. Would love to see the HUDs. Can you send the HUDs over?
Right.
I mean, on the HUD, all you've got to do, if you've got the only real private information on a HUD is if you've got a lender involved.
Yeah,
it's not like a bank or a hard money lender.
Sure.
If it's a private lender, because you don't want that. Although that information,
the
ends up being
tax
public
rate's
anyways.
not exactly private.
No, none of that stuff is private, right? So the only thing that's really private is what you paid for the property. But since
Jason,
we're both
it's
real
a
estate
non-disclosure state. I don't have to show that to you.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, fine. Don't just. I love it when people prove me wrong. Because
Right.
if you prove me wrong, I'm like, oh, okay. So maybe we need to start doing that. So I don't see. I really don't see that.
We could fire it up tomorrow if somebody could show us it was worth our time.
Yeah, I mean, we've got the capacity to buy a bunch of houses that way. So, I mean, you can show me how to buy 10 houses a month doing that. You come on over here, you help build that, and we'll be more than happy to share the profits with you.
Yes.
But my guess is it doesn't work because I've tried it.
Don't tell anybody.
I've tried it. So, in any case, you've got to do this the old-fashioned way. You can't. This is kind of like the people that I see at real estate events, and it's not their fault. It's what a guru sold them, right? And a guru says, hey, you need to sign up for every wholesale list in town and then wait for them to send you 70% less repairs deals, which you and I both know there's none of those out there. So they're literally sitting at their office waiting
using
for somebody
their numbers.
Right. Oh, yeah. That's right. Using a wholesaler's numbers.
Using their ARV, using their repair numbers.
Right.
It is a 70% minus repair deal.
But you and I both know that you can't sit there at your desk and someone's going to email you into prosperity. That just it's not how the real world works.
Correct.
It's not until you start getting into higher and higher levels. Like we get email deals all the time, send them over to our lead coordinating team, and some we buy, some we don't.
Right.
But we've been doing this for a couple of years. So, but that doesn't happen for everybody. It doesn't happen when you're first starting out. So, it's just an interesting dynamic. I'll tell you one of the things. If you guys want to get onto our Facebook page, in the next 2 or 3 days, I'm going to have an epic rant about real estate gurus who tell people to up their credit and then use their credit cards to pay for their coaching program, and they have no money left.
Yeah.
I am going to go
I've
off
talked to,
like you wouldn't believe.
At our last live event, I talked to one person that did that they had never really had credit card debt before, and then they went and expanded their credit lines and over $25,000 in credit card debt. They had credit scores in the mid sevens.
Yeah.
And now they're in the mid fives.
Yeah, and you're stuck
and
now.
They have a little bit of money to market, but they don't have any way to fund to finance deals. They can't finance deals.
Actually, I'll tell you, if you maybe if you are one of those people,
yeah,
contact me personally, and I know exactly how to solve this problem.
Support at rightpathrealestate.com.
Yeah,
Support at rightpathrealestate.com.
If this has happened to you,
in the subject line, put personal JB.
Yeah.
Personal JB in the subject line. That's PERSONAL, personal JB.
and this is, I'm looking for people who literally use their last dollar and their credit cards to fund their real estate education, and now they're broke. They're a lot of times they're negative, right?
Yeah.
So send that to me in email. I know exactly how to fix this with the real estate gurus. So send it to me, and I'll shoot you an email back. You're gonna love it. But I think we've got a way to fix that.
Yeah, I've heard multiple stories of people because at our Saturday night event, I heard.
Yeah,
that
I heard it there. I heard it last night. I'm like, guys, don't do this.
Yeah.
Don't spend your last. And that's the heartbreaking part, because it's like, well, I had $20,000 in cash, and the mentor program was like
45.
45 or 80 grand or something. Right. So then day one of their weekend event, they told us how to expand our lines of credit, and then they did all that, and then they pitched their program the next day, and of course we spent all of our cash plus all of our credit on this real estate education program, and I have got no money to market. And they've been listening to the radio show for 5-6 months now, and we tell them, hey, you need some money for marketing, you need some money for reserves, you need some money, and they go, that's not what this guru told me from stage. And I'm like, this is why when people come to our
that
weekend
guru
retreat,
from stage isn't doing deals.
No, and this is why when we do our weekend retreat and somebody says, I'd love to join y'all's coaching program, but I've only got, $20,000. I'm like, yeah, I'm not sure. I already got $10,000, but I got this credit card, and I'm like,
well, the problem is that we don't want to set them up for failure, because what we recognize, you're starting a business, and if you're starting off a business undercapitalized, then how successful can you? Yes, there are always that exceptional story where somebody worked his way undercapitalized with no money, no job, no credit, and he worked it. But that's such a rare occurrence in reality that's what Hollywood movies are made out of. There's so few stories that they can do like one story like that every year or two, right? Mm-hmm. Because there's just not that many stories out there like that.
Yeah.
And so, anyhow, you're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. If you want to find out about the events that we have coming up, like our next event is the Weekend Retreat. It's October 20th, 21st, and 22nd. It's a 3-day event. I know that space is limited. It's $597 for a person to attend on general admission, and it's $14.97 for VIP. You can go straight to our website, rightpathrealestate.com. We also, outside of that, what's the other? The 26th, I believe, is our other next
that's
event.
our next event. I'm talking about marketing.
Yeah.
How to find deals. That's there's the two hardest things in this business are finding deals, meeting with sellers.
Yeah.
So
marketing sales.
That's all it is.
That's where it begins. And then there's a transaction piece. There's 8 different modules that we teach in our weekend retreat. Right. And so there's marketing and sales, the transaction component, the business basics. You got to learn the language. There's a language to our industry. And here's the thing is, some people get in their head that it's going to take a year to learn all of this stuff. You can learn it in a weekend.
Yeah.
You can learn it in a weekend and then start implementing it immediately. We have one student that within 4 months of going to our weekend retreat and working part-time, because he had a full-time JOB, he put $189,000 back in his pocket. And then not only that
that's not bad for a $600 investment.
But you know what he did his next month? He had an $87,000 month.
Oh.
Yeah, just in a month.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know what, maybe real estate doesn't work.
I don't think it works. Yeah. So not only that, he was able to give his boss the pink slip.
Yeah. Nobody wants to do that, right?
Yeah.
So, by the way, Tom and I were reading an email during the break, and they said it's absolutely the weekend. This is from somebody who went to the weekend retreat. He said absolutely the best value in real estate education is the weekend retreat. So it was nice. A nice guy. Good comments. So I appreciate it.
Okay, so we're going to a break. I was probably about 15 seconds early, right, Nikki?
Rain Man's counting seconds in his head over here.
Was I early?
Dude, check this out. I just got this message.
Yeah.
When we were just talking about, because he's listening to the radio at his office.
Yeah.
Why settle for mediocre results? There's a better place to invest. The experts agree, single-family real estate is one of the best investments you can make. Find out how JB Fund Services offers a 9% preferred return and up to a 13% waterfall. Call us today at 281-915-0906 or visit our website, jbfundservices.com. That's 281-915-0906. This investment is offered to accredited investors.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties, whether it's a flip, rehab, or a rental rehab. No more managing it yourself. No more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992.
Rehab loans, conventional loans, FHA, and no-income documentation loans can seem scary unless you have the right mortgage company to guide you through the process. Since 2003, Noble Mortgage has been helping investors just like you. Whether rehabbing houses, buying your first home, rental, or commercial property, Noble Mortgage offers up to 100% financing. Call Noble Mortgage at 713-680-8100 or visit noblemoney.com. That's noblemoney.com.
You found or inherited a great investment property. Problem is, you don't know how much it's worth, or more importantly, what to do to maximize your investment while mitigating risk. This is exactly why we started Next Gen Appraisals. Next Gen is a group of appraisers specializing in investment real estate. We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market. Give Next Gen a call at 713-346-9911 or check us out online at nextgenappraisals.com.
Time is money in a real estate deal. If your insurance company is slow or non-responsive, you could lose a deal like that. You need a quick turnaround on quotes or binders? The agency for that is Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas. The team at Benchmark understands the investor mindset. They know what you need and when you need it. We're here for you. Are you a rehabber, wholesaler, buy and hold, or flipper? Bundling your properties on a single policy will help save time and money. Benchmark has been in business for over 10 years, and we insure over 30,000 properties. Contact Benchmark about our exclusive investor package. Call us and let us show you what we can do for you at 281-569-4353. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com. That's benchmarkbroker.com.
Man, that is crazy.
281-569-4353.
He's been sending me these.
Yeah.
Like, because he's in
Are
that.
you expecting
He's in
to
that group a
close
lot more than I am.
accurately, on time and with lots of communication on your home purchase? You've come to the right place. I'm Jennifer Hernandez, Senior Loan Officer with Legacy Mutual Mortgage. Our goal
Today's
is to
the
give
game,
our
right?
borrowers and referral partners
Astros'
an
first game,
amazing
or is it tomorrow?
experience during the
No,
loan
it's Friday.
process.
Yeah,
My team
tonight
believes in putting
it's
people and
Indians
culture
and
before
Yankees.
results.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And then
Our
that's
company
going to determine when
concentrates on
the
building
Astros
those
games.
teams
What time?
to
What time
operate with
tonight?
structure,
I don't know.
process, and
So here's the
recognition
problem.
for
So
going
Curtis
the
Warden
extra
grabs
mile
me
for
and he
you.
goes, "Dude,"
This
He was
way
there
we
last
have the
night?
Yeah,
energy
he's
to
like,
make
"We
this
got to
the
go to
best
Cleveland,"
home
and I'm like,
purchase ever.
because
Give
it's
us a
probably going
call
to be the Indians
today
that win.
to find out the
So he's like,
simple
"We got to
steps
go to
get
Cleveland to go
started.
see
I'm
the
Jennifer
Astros games." And I'm like,
the Hernandez
because they'll be.
team at Legacy
They'll get
Mutual
home field
Mortgage.
advantage. They'll get the first two games, so it'll be like Friday and Saturday.
You don't think it's going to be in New York?
Or call
I hope it's New York because I don't know if we can beat the
713-579-3611.
Indians. It's they're
3611. Again,
those dudes are
Jennifer.
on a whole nother level. But I don't know. I mean, Yankees could win. We'll see tonight. We'll be watching the game tonight. Anyway, so he said, "We had to go travel to the game." He goes, "I know you're one of the few guys that has the means to just drop everything and go." And I said, "Yeah, but I got the weekend retreat next weekend, so it's tough."
Yeah.
You guys ready?
Ready.
All right, fellas.
on Facebook Live at facebook.com/RightPathRealEstate.
Hot mics.
What about the countdown?
No countdown. I don't know what we're doing.
I love
Sorry.
it. I'd prefer not to have a countdown. So, yeah, talking to the producer, Nikki, she's awesome. Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. Or you can go to facebook.com, like our Right Path page, ask any kind of questions. You know, we during our radio show, when it's Jason and I together, we're telling stories, stuff like that. But the reality is you can change your better future with buy and hold real estate investing, with buy, fix, and flipping, or wholesaling. And oftentimes what we recognize is that people are not getting the results in real estate that they want to get because they haven't set a goal in mind. They don't really know. And when I say a goal, it's not like, well, I want to wholesale 3 deals this year between now and the end of the year so that I can flip 6 deals next year. And then so I can buy, 10 buy and holds the next year. That's an action plan. That's not a goal. What your goal is, this is what I want my life to look like a year from now, or 3 years from now, or 5 years from now. You know, granted that what you can do is once you decide what you want your life to look like, then what you can do is design the action steps to get you there. But here's the problem, is if you start with the action steps first, then you work on the goal, or you don't even know what the goal is, but you start putting those action steps because you don't really know the cause and effect of your action steps. Then what ends up happening, the analogy that I tell to people is like, if you tell me that you want to go to Washington, D.C. because you're like museums and you want to go tour the Smithsonian Institution, which is, you know, incredible museum, right? But you book a flight to Seattle, Washington to go to Washington, D.C., it's like you're taking a very indirect path to get to where your goal is. And so like what you're talking about, these people that want to get into buy and hold real estate investing and say, so I became a real estate agent.
Yeah.
And it was like, wait, that is such an indirect path because now, although we recommend that most investors become an agent if you're going to do it full-time or even on a part-time basis, because then you have access to the data. It's a little bit like a stockbroker having access to a Bloomberg terminal, right? But it's not so that you can become a stock trader, right? I mean,
I gotta borrow my bro's Bloomberg login.
yeah. Hey, Mr. Broker dude, I want to buy 1,000 shares of Exxon stock. Oh, can you hold a minute? I need to get my buddy's login.
I gotta get my bro here. He's logged into his terminal.
Now, for those of y'all that don't get the entire joke reference, so you know, sometimes real estate agents will give their buddies. Now that's totally against HAR rules and all of that, but can't say that it's not done from time to time. But yeah, so they give those HAR logins, and then rather than somebody becoming an agent themselves. But we recommend that there are some now. It's a growing list of groups that are out there that give MLS data through a brokerage arrangement for people that are non-agents. The only thing that I'm not sure that you get access to on those situations are, I know that you get the actual sold comps, but I'm not sure that it takes into considerations the seller's contribution to buyer's closing costs and those kind of things. I haven't really studied that, but anyhow. So all that's to say that if you want to get active in buy and hold, buy, fix, and flip, or wholesaling, and you want to know where to get started, how to run it like a business, you need to get to our weekend retreat. If there's anything that you're doing on October 20th, 21st, 22nd that's not putting you on track to make a 7-figure income, then you need to erase that thing from your calendar and put this on your calendar instead.
I will mention this, and you and I haven't had a chance to talk about this, but we are going to make, especially when we look at Basecamp, what we're doing on the financing side,
right,
and what we're doing on the acquisition side.
Yeah.
It is highly likely that we're going to build, starting in 2018, our own little group that just buys and sells properties inside our group.
Yes.
And we had some discussions last night with some folks that I think are just going to start funneling stuff to us, and we're just going to take everything. If we don't take it down, then somebody in our group is going to take it down to build rental portfolios. Now's the time to do it.
Well, right? I was noticing your post about multifamily, and what was interesting is I was at the event in Dallas, and some guy that's a lead investor came over. He's in Brad Sumrock's group, and he did one deal that he made money on back in. I think he did it in 2014, and then he got out in like 2016 or something. And then now he just bought one, and he bought a C-class property on a 7.5 cap on the actuals. On the actuals. Now they can improve it, right?
I know.
So. And they're like, yeah, but we stress tested it at 60% occupancy, and the investors still don't lose money. And I'm like, yeah, I hear you. That's stress tested at 60% occupancy, but what's the rental rates on the remaining 60%?
And I think a lot of people in the multifamily space,
and what it is they got a non-recourse loan, and it's and I said it's a 30-year AM, and it's and I said, what is a 5-year balloon? No, it's a 7-year balloon. And I'm like, okay, yeah. There you go.
I don't, and it's already a stabilized property. It's like, man, there's so many. Go through a CMBS, get you a conduit loan. I mean, there's so many better ways to do that. But The problem is,
the better way is don't buy right now.
Yeah,
because,
well, that's true.
Because you're going to be able to buy those in the future. And it's like, yeah, but it's such a good deal. I'm like, no,
it's not. It's just
yeah.
I posted.
Well, you don't understand. I'm a lead. Okay.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, you're great. So you are
and everybody's doing it. It's got to be okay. Everybody's doing it.
It's so funny because we know guys here in Houston who are real movers.
Yeah,
they
right.
are the biggest multifamily guys here in Houston, and they have sold just about everything. And we have drinks or dinner with these guys, and they're like, there's no way I'd be buying stuff right now. And they've been doing this 20 or 30 years. And then you run into somebody like that, and they're like, well, I'm an expert in this stuff because I've done one deal. And I'm like, oh, my gosh. We were at a wedding Friday night, we had so much fun. It was a fantastic wedding. I was chatting with a buddy of mine, and he's a passive in a deal up in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
I think he said they were all in at 5. And because of a couple of things that have happened and the growth in Dallas, and he got in 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
They're selling for $10 million.
Right.
I mean, they're doubling their money. But
Right.
he told me, man, it was total luck that we went.
Right.
I mean, from there to there. He said it wasn't anything you could forecast. It was nothing to pro forma. It was like Samsung built a campus, and
then
these
what
guys
happens
built a
is,
campus.
is people go, oh, because I know that those people, they made a ton of money. I want to do that too. And it's like that success is not duplicatable.
Yeah.
That's not a repeatable, systematic. That's a blind squirrel gets a nut every now and then.
Well, and that's what he said. And he's a real estate investor. He's a real, like we are, like real estate investor. And I'm like, so, what are you going to do? He goes, well, and then he was talking about, he met with, who is it? One of these big gurus. He was in Vegas. We were talking about, he was in Vegas during the shooting.
Oh, okay.
And he was on he and his wife were on one of the opposing buildings for a real estate event. They were there for the Thrive event, and there was another event afterwards, and that's what they were there for. And so we were talking about that pitch he was getting for multifamily. There's a investor in Louisiana that's going to start buying in Dallas. He said he's going to buy every A- property under $200,000 a door. And so they were given the pitch about
you can buy houses for under $200,000.
That's what I didn't get. And that's what I told him. I said, I don't understand. And then I posted this report yesterday. If y'all go to my personal Facebook page,
$200,000 a door
on
for
A-. And I'm like, well, how much can you buy them or build them for? And I almost pulled up Texas A&M's website and went to their real estate center because they've got how much those new units are trading for. So I was like, I think you can build them for less than that. So anyways,
you would think you could be able to build it for $150 a foot, and those they're only like 1,000 square feet, right?
This was a million years ago, but when I worked at University of Texas Health Science Center, I want to say
it seems like a million years ago, but it was
like 5 years ago. When they had greenlit that project to expand student housing there, we were building Class A without land, just construction. I want to say at $125 a door, if I remember correctly.
$125,000 a door. And how many square feet was a door?
It depended. Smallest unit was 400 square feet, maybe 500 square feet.
At 125, that's like $300 a foot.
Yeah, and they're high rise. These were high rise with a big old parking garage. This is Class A. It's Class A. Nice stuff. A lot of concrete, and so. And that was before land costs. So when you look at Class A and you're buying Class A minus at under $200K a door, I'm like, I think that's pretty close to what you can build them for. Now, can someone if I'm a multifamily guy, I can see someone coming in and saying, look, I want to buy everything for less than replacement costs. You're almost buying them at book value.
Sure, right.
But when I look at the historic cost of construction on commercial, it is highly variable.
Right.
Whereas single family is really not. It rises over the years. In other words, you don't have these big dips in cost
we're not going to see
construction.
$60 a foot new construction houses
ever again.
Right.
Yeah, we'll never see those again. So I don't know. In any case, I posted an article on my Facebook page about multifamily. We've been telling you guys for 2 years now, stay away from multifamily. And there is a big article there. I've told you that rental increases are about to stop. And they just went, this will be the first year they would have gone negative without Harvey. So I'll tell you guys this, if you're in multifamily deals, be very careful. Be very, very careful. I wouldn't. In fact, all those multifamily gurus, I'd ask them, hey, how are you buying these? Are you buying any? Great. How are you financing them? How much of your personal money is in these things? Because that's another thing where I'll see these guys say, oh, buy multifamily, buy multifamily, buy multifamily.
Yeah, most of the gurus don't have any
and then
of
I'll
their
say,
own personal
well,
money.
how much of your own money is in this deal? A lot of the way they do these
Well,
things,
when you say my personal money, you mean my time, right?
Yeah. The way these guys do money is these apartment complexes, they'll take the 20% down.
Hey, we're going to leave a teaser. We're going to a break.
Right. We'll talk more about multifamily when we get back from the break.
All right. We got 4 minutes, right? 4 minutes?
Sure.
Nikki, 4 minutes?
4 minutes.
All right.
Are small returns getting in the way of your retirement plans? Why settle for mediocre results? There's a better place to invest. The experts agree. Single-family real estate is one of the best investments you can make. Find out how JB Fund Services offers a 9% preferred return and up to a 13% waterfall. Call us today at 281-915-0906 or visit our website, jbfundservices.com. That's 281-915-0906. This investment is offered to accredited investors.
You found or inherited a great investment property. Problem is, you don't know how much it's worth, or more importantly, what to do to maximize your investment while mitigating risk. This is exactly why we started NextGen Appraisals. NextGen is a group of appraisers specializing in investment real estate. We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market. Give NextGen a call at 713-346-9911 or check us out online at nextgenappraisals.com.
Real estate investors, if you're not familiar with Quest IRA, let me tell you what you're missing. We've got free weekly educational classes, networking opportunities, and the ability to tap into trillions of dollars for your real estate investing deals. Come by our office or join us remotely as we simulcast all of our educational classes every Tuesday morning and evening. For more information, call us at 1-855-FUN-IRAs or visit our website at questira.com.
Are you a realtor or seller that is concerned about the new TRID rules and closing on time? I'm Jennifer Hernandez, Senior Loan Officer at Legacy Mutual Mortgage, and we have mastered the 30-day close. We close on time, accurately, and with tons of communication. You'll have a dedicated team of a coordinator and a contract-to-close associate. Give me a call today at 713-579-3611, and let's talk about how we can help you on your next transaction. NMLS 514497.
Time is money in a real estate deal. If your insurance company is slow or non-responsive, you could lose a deal like that. You need a quick turnaround on quotes, binders, and the agency for that is Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas. The team at Benchmark understands the investor mindset. They know what you need and when you need it. It's there for you. Call Houston's leading real estate risk management experts. Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas, 281-569-4353. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties, whether it's a flip, rehab, or a rental rehab. No more managing it yourself. No more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992.
Rehab loans, conventional loans, FHA, and no-income documentation loans can seem scary unless you have the right mortgage company to guide you through the process. Since 2003, Noble Mortgage has been helping investors just like you. Whether rehabbing houses, buying your first home, rental, or commercial property, Noble Mortgage offers up to 100% financing. Call Noble Mortgage at 713-680-8100 or visit noblemoney.com. That's noblemoney.com.
I have to say, I have this thought about Wednesdays when we have our, meetings for all the different companies, and everybody kind of rotates in. I forget if it was a movie or a skit or what it was, but some CEO had his office in the elevator, and he would just go from floor to floor to floor.
Just meet with people as they come in.
As soon as like he would stop on let's say floor 5 and have a meeting with the marketing department. All the people would be there'd be like a little conference room set up, and he'd just go from floor to floor having meeting after meeting. I kind of feel like that.
All right, stand by, fellas.
Yes.
1817. Or look for us on Facebook Live at facebook.com/RightPathRealEstate.
Hot mics.
All right, you're listening to Right Path Real Estate. So you were leaving a teaser right before.
You know, I want to spend more time talking about it. So I'll talk about multifamily on Friday and this article that came out yesterday. So tune in the show Friday. If you want to see the pre-show article, go to my personal Facebook page. I'll go ahead and share it to the Right Path page.
Yeah, do that.
So go to facebook.com/rightpathrealestate. And, you know, I want to share something with you. I just got a personal message from somebody. And one of the things he said that's real interesting, he's done about 37 deals in the last 2 or 3 years. And he said one of the things that people need to understand is that you need to answer this question. Are you running a business or a hobby? And that's one thing you and I hit on a lot. We haven't said it in a while, but it's one of the things that we say all the time. It's like, are you running a business or are you running a hobby? And a lot of people are just hobbyists.
Right.
Which is fine, but you don't make any money doing a hobby.
Right.
You know, my wife's a knitter. She's not making any money, you know, knitting sweaters. So
yeah, but if she were running like a business, she still wouldn't make any money in knitting.
That's right. Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, but I'll tell you what's funny is that what's interesting about the knitting world is she said, you know, these people open up shops and then they go out of business in a couple of years because they're running it like a hobby, not running like their business.
Right.
So it's not uncommon for that to happen. And a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to make real estate my hobby. And I'm like, if you do, you're not going to make any money doing it. You got to run this like a business. And that's what our weekend retreat teaches. It's how to run this like a business. That's the important piece. How do you run it like a business? What are the numbers in doing, not only doing a deal, but consistently doing deals? I'm never worried about the numbers in the deal. Like the deal takes care of itself. How do I bring in the next deal? How much time, how much money do I have to use? That's the important piece.
Yeah. It reminds me, I was at the Wyndham, not this past time, but the time before, and apparently the Needlepoint convention was at the Wyndham.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of these ladies that own these shops from around the country. They had all gone to this big Wyndham Needlepoint convention.
Yeah, yeah.
And set up in the same rooms that we have our events.
Mhm.
And then some of the women like, oh, I loved all your stuff that you had. Because, you know, they were selling, a lot of people were selling, set up booths, selling to these people that are store owners. And, oh, I would have loved to have bought some stuff, but I'd already spent my budget of, you know, $300.
Yeah. And
They'd only brought $300 to spend for the entire, to restock their shelves.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do you restock your shelves for
$300?
Yeah, I'm like, wow.
So it's how do you run it like a bit? And there's a classic example being undercapitalized.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're limited in inventory by $300, what are you spending on marketing?
Well, it's also a classic story of saying, you know, that just because something that you enjoy doing it as a hobby doesn't necessarily mean it makes a good business. And are you starting with the goal in mind of what do you want your life to look like? And is that thing going to get you to where you want to be? And the best way to do it, I think, is real estate. That's the best way to create financial freedom for you and your family. And so,
yeah,
there's that.
Weekend retreat, guys, coming up a week from this Friday.
1 minute.
October 20th, 21st, and 22nd.
I'll be there unless there's an Astros game. I'm just kidding. I'll have to be there.
You'll be there even if there is an Astros game.
Even if there is an Astros game. Although our VIPs, I mean, we'll see. We might just drag everybody to a championship game instead of going out to dinner.
That would be pretty swell.
That would be awesome, wouldn't it? So go to rightpathrealestate.com. You can sign up there. I don't know how many seats we've got left. It's probably pretty limited at this point. But I'm telling you, now's the time to plan for 2018. That's all I'm focused on right now is 2018. How do we build everything up for 2018? So rightpathrealestate.com. You got any parting words?
Tomorrow I'll be on the radio with Quest IRA and Noble Mortgage.
Ooh, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
The Questies on there. So, all right, thanks for listening, guys. Tom will see you guys bright-eyed, bushy-tailed Thursday morning for Build Your Team Thursday.
And Jason will have the conversation on Friday about multifamily.
I'm going to talk about multifamily.
So don't do it, don't do it. Right now, we're not anti-multifamily. It's just not right now. Don't buy at the top of the market.
We'll see you guys then. Thanks for listening.
All right, gentlemen, have a good day.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Let's stop this.